said you need me the most. I said I'm down for you, babe. I said I try.
The falling leaves drift by the window. The autumn leaves of red and gold.
No one was really interested in supporting low-wage working-class organizers and working-class people from various backgrounds during these years. The unions have been...
Morning. I wanted to live stream my walk this morning, but Instagram has restricted my account, so I can't do that, presumably because I've been sharing images of Palestine and stuff, so Instagram is like... propagate reality, you'll get censored. Few quick things. First of all, Trump is the president again. Does it make much difference to where we've been? I don't think it's going to make that much difference at all, really. The Liberals would beg to differ. The city went crazy last night. Parts of the town went mad last night with the young team and the fireworks, and a lot of people have been quite reactionary about that, without really taking into consideration why this is happening, and a lot of people knew this was going to happen. In fact, there was people that had made an effort to try and stop it happening, and they were impeded from doing so, so that was something. But the main reason I wanted to make a wee broadcast this morning was that this evening at 7:30 at the Oxgangs Neighbourhood Centre, which I think is in Firhill Drive, there's a hustings for the candidates that are seeking to be elected in the council election at Ward 8, Collington Fairmill Head. And so it was supposed to be the majority of the candidates. There's like 12 candidates running, of which I'm one of them. And the four main parties have all pulled out. They had agreed to take part in the hustings. It's being chaired by Donald Turville, the journalist from Edinburgh Live, so it was completely independent with an impartial chair. And but the main parties have shat it and they're not going to participate. So this is a really contemptible act on their part, and it just shows the arrogance that the main political parties have and the candidates have towards the electorate, really, in general. The fact that this is the only opportunity that the community would have had to ask questions of them, find out what it was, why they thought that they should be elected in this by-election. So basically, if you can get up to Oxgangs this evening, come up to the hustings. It's at 7:30, I think, till 9, and I'll say a few things. There's a bunch of other people say a few things, but I think if you're able to get along, come along, and if the main parties aren't going to be there, we can try and just raise some points and kind of get a discussion going as to what's going on, because this town is a mess, and the reason it is a mess is because of these party political imposters. So if you can get along this evening. I didn't care how to do that thing where you put like the picture behind you and like you fucking go, right, well here it's here. So I'll put the picture of the place with the address. It's a beautiful autumn day.
You once were lean, but now you're fat, and you've achieved your trivial success. It doesn't seem to matter to you that you're a complete and utter mess. Don't think that no one's seen the games you play, your victories or triumphs of defeat. There's some can smell the rank decay within your rotten soul, you vicious cheat. There with the grace of God you go, more cruel than I can even dare to formulate a wish to be. You stand up proud and well, a tear for other tears to emulate. I do not like to think that your facade could be an image of myself gone bad. Clamoring in vain, bashing a wall, festering turmoil, hammering fuck all. Why don't you keep it to yourself? You think that all you have to do is to let it all hang out. You'll never find your missing link by your ridiculous love call. It may make you feel better, but you don't connect with me. You only aggravate our situation by the fact you won't realize I much prefer to masturbate than to make love with you. The only way to make me want you as before is to convince me that you'll not betray a trust your lies have rotted to the core. The past is gone, and I am left forlorn. Hatred's not dead, and love not yet reborn. She's my woman, I'm her man. I'm her eggs and bacon, she's my frying pan. I'm her lord, she's all I've got, like water to a drowning man.
Hey, welcome to episode 2 of Just Doing Stuff. So a few days ago I put a call out to folks in Vancouver to see if anybody wanted to meet up and collaborate on a piece of art, and an artist called Michelle got back to me. So yesterday I packed my bags and I headed into the city to meet her. We decided to meet at a library in the West End. So I got there nice and early and I waited. And waited. And waited some more. Until it started to look like she wasn't going to show. So I decided to head into the library and look at some books. And that's when I noticed something strange. Staring back at me from a space on the shelf was this beautifully decorated coffee cup. And the pattern looked so familiar to me. I knew I'd seen it somewhere. Maybe Michelle was here, with these guys. So I decided to hang out with them for a while. And waited to see if she turned up. But she didn't. So I went to go grab a coffee. And then I couldn't believe it. Surely not. Is that? There she is. This is Michelle, a brilliant artist here in Vancouver, and now a friend of mine.
Morning. Wee bit of feedback in that, eh? Morning, Rona. Morning to you. Geezer sound check, you got me. You got W. Morning to you. Up in your morning, madam. Can he be a bit of angry disco in the morning? R.D. Lang's. Should be. I like that wee juxtaposition between the or I don't know, this is when it starts to like right. Battle Steve Jobs as corpse. Is anybody else upgraded to that Sequoia or whatever it is? Doesn't it work, man? Let's done it again. How are we all? I'm not gonna lie, I slept in. I was working late last night and I gotta get those Zeds in, like, you know. Thanks Roots Home, thanks chaps. What's happening then in the Agendalist Collective? I like the I quite liked going from R.D. Lang's ranting rage, which is actually, I don't know if you've ever heard that EP. He did like 4 or 5 tracks, and it's like really well done. That one's called track 6. That's just a wee part of it as well. It's like all prog rock time in that. It goes all mental. It does a big change in some strings and everything. You know what I mean? But I just thought of it yesterday. I was like, I've not heard that for a while. Nobody on X, nah. Well, there is. Just the lurkers, eh? Just the lurkers. Feel free to say hello. But didn't bite. So what's happening? Trump's going to take Gaza. The kid, like the boy for Jordan, and that was sat there. Did anybody clock any of that? What's this notification I've got here? Stuart Kellett's gone now. I need to go into it. I'm going to here first. Oh, this is like... Oh, well, let's read it without a paywall then. This is obviously the only thing. I mean, like, fair play. Like, I mean, if someone's been done, I didn't even ken. I didn't know anything about this, right? I see the article. I tried to read Kevin McKenna's article the other day. It was behind a paywall. I couldn't read it because I'm not paying for a subscription for the Herald. And then sometimes when I try to use the behind the paywall thing, it doesn't always work. So I couldn't see that. Nigel, good to see you, bro. Stalwart. Nigel's with us. Nigel is always with us. Right, let's see the like J.K. Rowling, right, is just that's the only thing all day. Like, maybe like it's mental, eh? The women's rights say as long as you're not brown or in Gaza, like that's the same way. I'm even McKenna. As much as I like McKenna, he's just said fuck all about Gaza. Do you know what I mean? He's never said fuck all about it. It's like, why? You're a socialist. Oh, well, you're supposed to be. You said you're a socialist or something. It's like, what? No bother. Just what? We just shrug our shoulders, right? That's the drill. Now they're talking about genuinely like ethnically cleansing the whole fucking thing, like, you know. It just doesn't matter. It's like that is the true capitulation. That is the ultimate capitulation to capital. You're basically going like, there's nothing can be done. The forces of evil, or the powerful forces, the monetary forces that dictate the trade winds of death, are so impervious, or so grand. We just don't even have opinions on these things anymore. But you'll notice, like when I was moaning about Jim Spence, like, you know, when I was saying Jim Spence, like, you know, just the slavering, the Spence the slaverer had blocked me in that. You know, there's a reason why they block, right? They block because they can't engage in actual dialectic, they can't engage in conversation, they can't engage in actual proper discourse. You know, they can't cope with it because they've not got an argument, they've not got a leg to stand on. They get stripped of their ropers. 10 past 9, eh? 10 past 9, right, fucking. Alright, what have we got? Of course, trans rights are human rights, but when they are pursued at the expense of women's rights, then they can become diktats to be wielded against working class women who have neither the power nor the material resources to resist. So you're a class champion now, are you, J.K. Rowling, are you? You're a champion of class rights, are you? A big pioneer of the class struggle, are you? Right, cool. When it suits you. So this is just identity politics when it suits you, right? So you'll see, you'll appropriate the class struggle when it suits your cause. Is that right? Because that's what you're saying. Even if Kevin McKenna has said that, every word. Is that right? Big champion of working class women's rights. Cool. Yeah. What's the the global proletariat then, because that's the thing, right? You know that's the thing, because because it's all relative to capital, right? It's all to do with relationships, because you're very clever, you understand that, right? Full moon. Sucker him, I'm gonna post the plot. I mean, I've mentioned this before. A lot of people like to talk about, you've got a lot of folk going, oh, I've been hounded, I've been cancelled and all the rest of it. It's like, have you? Have you? I wonder if, look, I can't read it. Fuck, am I meant to read an article like that? I wonder if anybody wants to be honest, anybody in the Scottish milieu, the microcosm, the postage stamp of Scottish online culture. I want to be honest about who has actually ever suffered an extreme reaction from the trans activists from that section of the culture, right? I'm not sitting here defending these cats, but people ken the history here. People ken the history. I'm stupid. I'm fucking many things. I'm no fucking stupid, right? A lot of cunts aren't either. Because this is a postage stamp of a country. It's a piss-stained postage stamp. I put up a thing yesterday. I'm telling you, I stand by it. I stand by that 100%. Welcome to the piss-stained postage stamp. Look at this one, fucking like, how are you meant to, I can't, do you want to know something, right? I've wanted to actually I wanted to read some of this stuff about this thing. I'm yet to be able to read an article about it. Somebody want to tell me. Somebody want to tell me what it's about. Well, thank goodness Anne-Marie Ward has put it without a paywall. Right, well, let's read it then. Let's dive in together. You can learn with me, watch with mother. Because I've seen this person's picture. I think I've seen a picture of the nurse lady that's taking it to court. Somebody was on the phone to me the other day, they were talking about it. I said I didn't ken about it, I didn't know about it. I'm vaguely aware of it. I haven't had a chance to really figure out what's what. I see what, it's almost like the folk, because for a lot of people, you're just like, that's all these people talk about. Now this might well be a valid case of somebody, with a serious issue, bring over it, but it's like, Christ almighty, and the same people, what have you said? Have you said anything? You said anything at all about the hundreds of thousands of people that have been innocent human beings, little children? How many babies in little blooded muslin fucking tarps did you need to see, soaked in blood? But you're concerned about the human rights of people and that. Aye, they bother, eh? It's kind of like just a time of compartmentalised bullshit. It's just like, these are shite talkers, man. These are fucking shite talkers, eh? Shit talker. Right. Look, I'm not actually in a bad mood. I'm actually in an alright mood. I was just really tired. Still turned up for you all, for whoever's here. Right. Right, let's read it then. Let's figure it out. Let's inform ourselves. I'm as fresh to this as you are. NHS Trans Tribunal is about much more than a nurse's fight for her job. Okay. Dr. Beth Upton arrives at the tribunal surrounded by supporters. Picture Ian Masterton, Almy News, right? So this presumably is the trans person. This is the, right, okay. There's their supporters. Is this the lawyer or something? They've got a lawyer vibe about them. Okay. Okay. What better way to sidetrack the Liberal left from their main goal of relieving poverty and opposing capitalism than promoting an imaginary dogma of oppression. Well, Kevin, with all due respect, this argument and this road has been well worn, and you're not by no means, and this is a well-established hypocrisy of those with a liberal left. So we know that the bourgeois liberal left are far from champions of class politics, but let's just continue. And then before I start thinking, there's a reason why corporate power and public sector influence has swung behind the campaign for trans rights. If you can convince sincere and well-motivated people that this is the moral crusade that defines the age, then you can be left relatively undisturbed to amass your profits. That's worthy of, that's not entirely. There's a reason why corporate power and public sector influences. That's not, I don't think it's about convincing anything. I think it's about the narrowing opportunities within the neoliberal epoch. Again, well dissected, well discussed by very bright people. And these things are subject to change as well. Anyway, is that music too loud? It feels a bit loud in my headphones. And what better way of doing this than by conjuring up an ethereal and contrived suite of slogans and declarations? You building a straw man here? I don't care if you are or you aren't. No. Trans rights are human rights. Love is love. Okay, of course trans rights are human rights, but when they are pursued at the expense of women's rights, then they can become diktats to be wielded against working class women who have neither the power nor the material resources to resist. Or to bludgeon the reputation of other women who refuse to accept the fiction that there are more than two sexes and that a woman can have a penis. The fact that we're even in an era where this is a newspaper article, where this is actually the political classes, political, it's not really, it's as much to do with the political class. It's as much to do with the bourgeois liberals and fucking the political class that this has become like. This is now, how many years? This is like years and years and years. Whilst there's just like an orgy of larceny on the public purse and everything else, and it's like folk are still like, it's like women can't, men can't be women, right? But that's just whatever, right? Okay, fuck right. Women can't have a penis. Love is love, we are told. Well, where are we going with this? Love is love, we are told. Well, football is football, and cars are cars. Love is more than a catchphrase that handily fits into a single line on a banner. Love can mobilize nations and end wars. It forms families. I'm not so sure about that, pal. I'm not sure how much love is involved in the procreative acts of after 10 pints and fucking let's not get into that. It'd be nice if it was the fundamental ingredient. Something tells me that that's not the case. It forms families and becomes their last refuge when the state and law of the land turns against you. Love, what's it? All you need is love. What's with the big love thing? I'm sure he's going somewhere with this. When the state and law of the land turn against you, love provides hope for the sick and infirm and oppressed. Love is delight and heartache. He's quite a wordsmith, isn't it? Wordsmith, like, it's good. I can imagine him walking through a field of daisies, smoking a Regal King Size. It's worth fighting for, and it's worth fight. Love is worth fighting. Kevin McKenna, love is worth fighting for and dying for. But love cannot exist without truth. I like this. We should have got fucking Alec Guinness to what's his name? Who was it that done Jeffrey Palmer? We should have got Jeffrey Palmer. Let's get an AI. Let's get an AI Jeffrey Palmer voice. Let's get all Kevin McKenna's articles read in an AI Jeffrey Palmer voice from now on, right? I'm going to do that. I'm going to start making that a feature on What the X. Love and truth and what it means to be a woman are currently being examined. Love and truth and what it means to be a woman are currently being examined in an employment tribunal where Sandy Peggy, an A&E nurse with a 30-year record of unblemished service, is fighting NHS Fife for her career. Come on, Sandy. Miss Peggy was disciplined and suspended by her bosses for having challenged a biological male doctor who is now a trans woman who had sought to use the female nurse's changing room. The doctor, Beth Upton, told the tribunal last week of feeling distressed and afraid when Miss Peggy said on Christmas Eve nonetheless, Christmas Eve, it was Christmas Eve in Fife in 2023. We need to get like a wee It's a Wonderful Life kind of tableau, like, you know, black and white, you know, get the wee angel guy and that coming down. Christmas Eve 2023. That said that a man couldn't be in the changing room. Sandy Peggy was obviously like, get to fuck, get out of here. What are you doing? You've got a bobby. Fuck off. Miss Peggy argued that being made to share such an intimate space with Dr. Upton amounted to sexual harassment. Harassment related to a protected belief, indirect discrimination and victimization. She was suspended by the health board the following month for bullying and harassment, pending an investigation after Dr. Upton reported her. It's quite the drama. Hey, it's Christmas! Some fucking trans woman's got their welt out. What do you make of that, Peggy? Jesus Christ. In some reporting of the tribunal proceedings, it was claimed that Miss Peggy had admitted harassment. Yet, as anyone who has been following live streaming of the hearing, how many cases are live streamed? Was this like an exclusive vibe, or are loads of cases live streamed? And if so, where do I find the live stream of court cases? Because that's like fucking grade A content right there. But apparently you can't reshare it or something. Is that right? I mean, Nigel Smith. We'll take some time for some comments. So let's take a comment break. Nigel says, "I can't even understand women. Never mind be one." Don't worry, Nigel. I don't think there was any suggestion. You can only return to what the X if you're wearing a dress, Nigel, right? And we want pictures to prove it. What's going on, right? So, yeah, as anyone who has been following the live streaming of the hearing would have known, she was simply sticking to her position, which is protected under UK law, that trans women are men, and that she is fully entitled under the law to have access to a secure single-sex space. The case is of profound importance to the rights of women in the workplace. If Miss Peggy prevails, then it will require other employers, especially in the public sector, to provide protected single-sex spaces for biological women in their place of work. It doesn't seem unreasonable. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, it's what you've mentioned me. I've fucking seen my notification there. You've mentioned. Are you going to make me read a Wings article about this? All this every morning, every night. But fair play. I mean, it's like I said already. I had been at the. I don't know. I posted about it. I had been at a. I've got a statement. Casualty does 5 episodes, right? That's Fife and Casualty is. I wouldn't like to speculate just on how many ways we could combine those two words. I didn't ken the Horn Boy. Good to see you, the Horn Boy. I didn't ken you could film in court. Period. If only one of your viewers knew anything about the law, well, perhaps that law, that almanac of legalities could share their thoughts if there's anything that they might want to contribute here. I'm all ears. I'm pretty much like, I didn't ken. I genuinely don't ken. I don't know. I didn't ken, eh? But I did say I had, like, you know, like, I was at a nightclub. I don't know if I'd call it a nightclub, but I was at a club. I was at a fucking dub club. It was like a reggae club, right? It's like the last place. It's like the most non-Studio 54 environment you could ever be in. It's like kind of like there's like one red light and some incense burning. That's the vibe, right? And just sub bass, right? You just get blazed and just like skank, right? But there was this transsexual trans person jumping about with the full get up, like, you know, from a distance you're like, you're not joking, but then as you look, I was like, oh, come on, eh? They're about my age or whatever, but there was this vibe, but like it wasn't. There was a bit of an incident that night, and it was caught on CCTV, and it was totally out of order. And I don't think this person was doing their the cause or their community much good by behaving in the way that they did. Let's just put it that way. I did actually post about it. And that was in the ladies' bathrooms. And maybe call me a traditionalist or whatever, but like I do think that women's bathrooms should be like for women. You know, just like why just leave, let the women be in their bathrooms and stuff. I mean, I was having a laugh about this recently. I was saying, like, you know, like, for all you knew, like, you know, when you were growing up, you know, as a kid, it's like the girls' toilets or the women's bathrooms. You know, it could have been like a savannah. It could have been any kind of, like, what went on in there was just a mystical place. You know, it could have been any number of things could have happened there. You could only use your imagination. It's like you wouldn't really. And if you ever had that thing where you've gone into the wrong toilets, like, you know, and you have this moment, it's like. It's like a fear that descends upon you. You're like, fuck, I'm in the wrong place. And I think that's quite good. I think that you know, I always thought that was like quite a, you know, it was like, you sort of like, that's not, you're not meant to go in there, like, you know. And I think that, I don't know, I think there's just been some weird change in culture or something, you know. Because I think as well, there was a time where sort of guys in drag or trans people or whatever like that, I don't know, I just feel that there was maybe like, they could maybe go in, they probably did go into women's bathrooms sometimes, and it maybe wasn't so much of an issue, but it's an issue now, I don't know, ken. Look at this, we've got the pure legals, right? So filming in courts are non-starter unless you have the leave of the court. Don't try to do it surreptitiously. That's a contempt. Not sure about this. It's an employment tribunal, therefore only a quasi-judicial process, but I would think the same rules apply. Don't think it's being streamed anyway. It's being live streamed. Okay, and that's permitted. Look at that, man. Where else are you going to get such veracity? Like, you know, this is like fabulous. Thank you very much for that. Our resident legal expert. At my local nightclub, the trans women get the key to the disabled toilet. Don't know if that's too telling. I don't know what you mean. Anyway, where was that? Right. The case of Sandy Peggy against NHS Fife is one of those cut-through moments when the general public have been afforded a glimpse behind the veil that's been carefully drawn over the trans debate by Scotland's political class. Millions of pounds have been spent by government departments, health and education boards, and lobbyists, along with some carefully chosen media glove puppets to ensure that men self-identifying as women is a done deal before the public wakes up to what's really happening. As all of this was proceeding with flags and parades and bunting, almost imperceptibly, the concept of what it meant to be a woman was being dismantled. Starting with words, but eventually proceeding to material reality. It seemed that women's sexual and reproductive characteristics were being neutralised to the extent that in some NHS guidelines the word woman was erased completely. It began to be endorsed, quietly at first, by politicians, either too thick to understand what was happening, too cowardly to resist what they knew to be wrong, or simply channeling their clandestine misogyny. For some, this was an opportunity to slake, does that say? A word I have not encountered in my slake. I like that. Points for Slake McKenna. I did ken that word before. An opportunity slake their long-held jealousy of women or resentment of their professional success. The psychoanalysis of Kevin McKenna. In Scotland's public sector, it first became evident when decent men and women with flawless service records were being told to use pronouns. Fair play. I mean, you ever see that? Never mind, I'll get back to it. Good morning, Bob and the Bobettes. It's great to see everyone in a gender fluid environment. Fucking. I have to say, right? I've got trans friends. Yeah, some trans friends. Yeah, definitely got trans friends. I've had known trans folk over the years. I would call them like. Again, you know me to say it. Trannies. Like they wouldn't even bother. Like you know. I've had some right great laugh. Like people that are a good laugh. I don't know, you know, but I mean, we're in a different time, aren't we? The temperature is a lot hotter these days. Hold on a minute, let's see. Hold on. It was a long-term plan, wasn't it? Biden's flattened it. Trump's going to steal it, regardless of who is in. The Israelis always win. I like this sort of jumping between subject matter. Yeah, let me just finish this. Okay. In Scotland's public sector, it first became evident when decent men and women with flawless service records were being told to use pronouns in the political arena, especially in the SNP. Smart women such as Joanna Cherry, John McAlpine, Ash Regan and Kate Forbes were targeted and one by one taken out at the behest of the party leadership. You can imagine Sturgeon with her sort of rainbow cohort, like, you know, just with like an HUD display of like who the like sort of Minority Report, like, you know, Joanna Cherry, just big red light flashing on her. Joanna, your failure to use pronouns will result in your expulsion from the party. Okay. What's with this synth electric guitarness? That's a bit much, man. Come on, just it's all a bit. There we go. That's it again, right? It's all a bit manic, like, you know. Other gaps in the curtain soon followed. First up was Isla Bryson case and the grim truth long withheld that some violent males lately identifying as women were serving their time in the women's prison estate. It's quite a nice way of describing describing the Nick, innit? Like, I'm going away for a few months. Oh, really? Something nice? Absolutely, yes. A women's prison estate. Fabulous. Do let us know how you get on. Oh, I will. What's really happening? I'm not sure. Rowling's obsessed with trans Bobby. Hard to argue with that. Then Edinburgh Rape Crisis Centre was revealed to have targeted its own staff who had raised concerns that profoundly vulnerable female victims of male sexual violence were sometimes being counselled by biological males. The Cass Review, the most exhaustive and authoritative study of gender identity services for children and young people ever commissioned, highlighted. I mind they brought the review out, and Patrick Harvey, you know, quite like it's rubbish. It's like, fuck it, come on, man. Eh? If it's no that, it's fucking cycle lanes, right? Do you know what I mean? Like, how have we got to this stage? How did it get this bad? Rowling gave $1 million to the Tories in Better Together. Maybe she should have donated the dough to a women's refuge or something. It doesn't get more middle class or entitled than that. I do agree. R.D. Lang loved the sauce. He did. He was a massive pisshead, like, you know what I mean? Poor old Ronnie. Died after a tennis match, like, you know? Did you ever see my Raj Faces where I did a wee chat with him? If we've got time, I'll play it. But she, in fairness to Rowling, I think she did. She does donate to the. She has put money into rape crisis and stuff. You'll no get her on that, like you'll know. She's definitely put dollar into women's refuge or something, you know. So anyway. Right, okay. Ever Commissioned highlighted the risk of prescribing puberty blockers and hormone treatment to those with other underlying health issues. The public is now much more aware of what's at stake here, and Scotland's political elites are raging about that. Damn thee! Trying to tell the punters that it's entirely normal to expect women to undress in front of male colleagues would be a very difficult sell. The great victory of capitalism is that almost the entire trade union movement, the Labour Party, the Liberal Democrats and the Greens have embraced this dogma to the extent that it risks marginalising millions of working class women who had chiefly relied on these organisations to gain equality in the workplace and freedom from harassment. That's called neoliberalism. Well, yes, it's all the same thing. But let's be clear. Let's be clear about the about how we would define that. It has used up valuable time and resources that should have been deployed in the class struggle for a fairer distribution of the nation's resources. It's a bit of creative writing there. A bit of creative writing there, Monsieur McKenna. Okay. By and large, I didn't think that. I think if a female nurse should have the right to have a private space. So the class issue, I think, is somewhat opportunistic by certain people who have hitherto now not demonstrated any ability to argue anything when it comes to class politics. So let's be careful where, how and where and why we want to bring class into the equation. And it should be in every equation, obviously. Anyway, right, I've now informed myself. Well, it should be an open and shut case, right? You shouldn't, I mean, correct, tell, right, if I'm wrong, tell me. But I think it's interesting that it's come at this time period, though. You might have, if this had maybe happened a couple of years ago, there might have been a lot more support for the Upton lady or something. Everyone should feel safe. Why overcomplicate? Television. Yeah. Is this the most important issue of the day? I suppose it's not unworthy of coverage. It's worth. The women's took it to tribunal and stuff. So when will it be resolved? When will the case? When does it finish? Does anyone know? Fucking hell, eh? The trans episode. We've tried. Support independent Scottish media, your rages. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. Everyone's getting an ass whipping on the day. Are they? I wasn't whipping everyone's ass. Maybe I was. Okay, hold on. What's Nigel? The last paragraph. Let's go to it then. Quite frankly, it's long past time this stopped. If public sector workers want to be full-time campaigners for a particular cause, they should get off the payroll and pursue their ideology on their own. Get off the payroll, pursue your ideology on your own time and under their own bloody steam. That way we might just be able to get back to police officers who police, teachers who teach and doctors who doctor. And not just the ordinary use of words. Police Federation, fair play. Why do you not just like write utter woke nonsense, like, you know? It's good, fair play. Like, it's all brain damage, man, isn't it? Like, it's like the fact that we've got to this stage. The fact that we've got to this stage. I used to get disciplined by a woman called Miss Peggy. I bet you did, you dirty. Aye. No surprised. Right, so a couple of things before I forget. What's going on? It's a big distraction, you know. The one of the things, the political class, obviously, it's the. I've said before, you know, it's the perfect. It was the perfect issue for the neoliberal political class to get torn about because it's unresolvable. It's incredibly provocative. The fact that, see, the whole thing. This is the sort of like the batshit kind of the lunacy of this kind of like crumbling era of neoliberalism. It was like, you know, cycle lanes where they've already removed all the traffic, and then spending money in kids' schools to put unisex toilets in and all this sort of stuff. It just gets everybody's backs up. It's ridiculous. But some cunt's making money somewhere along the line, you know, like someone's won a contract to do it, somebody's been lobbied. Like, there's no logic to it. It's not like there's some grand philosophy to it. At the root of it, I mean, Voltaire said it, you know, at the root of every great fortune is a crime. Flendy told me that when we were out doing a psychogeographic tour. I'll play that one time. Let's go for a very short commercial break. Did everybody enjoy that? Read it. Everybody enjoy reading Kevin McKenna's article with me? It wasn't a bad article, was it? It wasn't that bad. I'm going to have to play it from this. What's this? Hold on a minute. Fucking done that. I'm not, it has been a while. I'll try and get him on the show. It's not impossible. We have discussed the possibility. And I think he'd be a good addition. I'd like to have him a more regular spot with him if possible, like, you know. I'll see what I can do. Let me pop this on and I'll be back. I'll be back imminently.
Try and make me smile.
Ronnie, tell me something about your childhood.
When I was 8 years old, my father, I was an only child, my father gave my mother the only birthday present I remember him ever having given her, which it was very sweet. He came home from his office, and this time he had remembered. He brought a little box nicely wrapped up, and I was standing there, my mother was sitting, her father gave her, and she undid it, and he had remembered her birthday. She opened it, and it was of cotton wool, and inside it was another little box, and she got that and opened it, and inside that it was a set of a complete set of 10 of his toe nail clippings. And well, it wasn't as though there was anything else to come. That was it.
What did your old dear say?
It was her face that I don't know whether I can do it, but it's printed in my memory. Never. Yeah.
There you go, eh? There you go, a wee dose of Ronnie for your Wednesday morning. Right, well, it's 5 to 11. We've had an interesting journey this morning. Look, I had to find out about this thing somehow. I'm glad that we all did it together, to be honest. Because I mean, I'm not going to lie. As much as that case might have, like, obviously it's got a bit of validity in it. It's like I can't be fucking arsed with the amount of shite that folk talk about all that pish. It's absolute fucking brain rot, like, you know. Just in time for the police turning up. Beldam's in the house. Right, listen. What the X? What can I say? We've been doing it for like 6 months. Shall we do it for another 6 months? Shall we keep going? Shall we just keep going for infinity? If so, I need you to like and share and subscribe and support. We're trying to build something. It's great to see, like, there's some people I went through, you know, there's some people, because it shows me the replays as well. It's brilliant. It's really funny. It's really funny, the cats that are there, and it's like, nay, blah. It says everything about Scottish culture. But, you know, especially in this town, you know, I'd like to do something interesting, but is that possible? I don't know. Have people even got the appetite for it, you know? Have people even got the knowledge? Do you even know what you could have? You've not even got a Scooby, you know? But there we go. It's kind of like I'm gonna go away. I mean, this guy blocked me, didn't he? How can I see his tweets? As the wings of the fuck it, like, I just, what's going to happen? That was when Jord. Here's the bog of eternal stench. What's going to happen with Gaza? That's what I'm wondering. See if they start blowing them up again, man. We need to get out on the streets, man. I mean, they're going to do it, aren't they? That's what's probably. That's what's on the cards. That's what's on the cards. Anyway, it's Wednesday morning. Thanks for everybody. That's 10:58. 100%. I don't know what that's in relation to, Beldam. 100% what? Just 100%. 100%. Right, well, once again, what can I say? Respect to the cats that support us, respect to the people that donate, respect to the people that are part of the Patreon. I love yous all, eh? I love yous. I care about yous. I give a modicum of a fuck. I did sleep in this morning, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. But that's just how it is. Anyway, like I say, you know, we've got some great ideas. We've got some sponsorship concepts. We've got some bits and bobs, you know. If anybody, and just give me a minute. I'm gonna have by Monday. I'll let you know where I'm doing my live, and we can get that organised. I just need a wee moment of catching my breath. So I didn't want to go, but I'm going to go. And I'm going to leave you. I'm going to leave you with a stone cold classic. This is a very apt title. It's Mifi Mabbit and Shit Talker. Catch you later. Hey, shout out Kit Cozy. One man, 6 noses. Shout out Audacity. One man, 6 foreheads. Hey. If I go on dates with my friends, I end up breaking their bed. So I try and make my amends by making bacon and egg. We smoke a J in a shed. She sits and plays with my legs. She's a fucking pain in the neck, but this bitch is paying my rent. I need a change of address. I'm going to Spain for a rest. I've booked a plane for the 10th, and I'm coming home when I'm dead. Don't fucking chase me, you scared. Don't shove a blade through my pets, and don't go shaving your head, cause I'll just restrain you again like when I
Round 'em up with a lasso, sitting chillin' in a bathrobe. All you bitches get your pants up, let me stick it in your asshole. Done an overnight in Glasgow, day tripping out to Ratho. Bitches leave me doing a bad road, so I stay focused on the cash flow. What a time up in the greenhouse, I've been sitting watching grass grow. I don't really do the weed now, I could shift a ton of crack though. Put my feet up in your gaff, bro. Sister's gonna get her back broke. Hit your mum with fucking dad jokes, toying with them Hasbro. Do you think I've been doing nothing? You think I'm just lazing around? I'm sat on my couch with a J in my mouth, with a brew and a Twix while I'm doing my account. What are you doing? Are you working? Stacking up crazy amounts. The only thing I've ever known you to stack is the shelves in the shop just to pay for your house. I got my eye on some properties, I don't want ties to no mortgages. You take your chance on the lottery, I'm talking actual monopoly. I've just been building this up, but nobody's breaking it down. Cause I got my dogs with me, taking me loyalty. Just like my dogs, I'll be taking you out like Wolf Lydia. What's going on in here? You want some? I'll give it ya. Simple question, no trivia. Brains doing overtime, working for the minimum. Why do you bring it up? Why don't you give it up? You're like chlamydia, I'm one and ready, yeah. Hire me a minibar, strive to the minibar. Find me a skinny bar, rider like get it up. Fucking look at ya, you need to switch it up. Yo, me figure rhyming so different. Cause I don't have a mouth full of silicon. I'm not an idiot, I am articulate. I am a nippy fuck, I am invisible. Hide it is typical life of the pitiful. Lies on the pinnacle, why am I cynical? I just dismiss it all, I couldn't give a fuck. Shout out fucking Kip Cozy. Shout out YouTube conversion fucking websites.